So if you're actually new to the channel, long story short, 1.5 years, I decided to build my dream car, and after $50,000 and a lot of wrenching, I crashed the car, and here I am. Drinking. Good. Yeah, nevertheless, really bad joke. Don't drink. So as we agreed, I moved forward and I start selling a bunch of things out of that crashed car and the gear that I was recording. So the first thing I sold, pretty good deal. I sold my camera and the lens for $2,250. You might be thinking, what are you recording now? I got a cheap Sony camera, you know, a point and shoot, which is doing the job, and yeah, I'm very happy with the camera. It's Sony CV1 if you guys are wondering. But nevertheless, I moved forward. I sold as well the coilovers for almost 700, back seats for 125, rear trunk for 50, front fender for 200, rear bumper and center console for 250, door panels for 90. I'm not gonna be putting I'm gonna give you the total. Give me 1 second, I'll give you the total. Rear differential for 250, a driver's door for 250, APR wing for 600, sun visor for 35, and that gives us a total of $4,800. Pretty good. Pretty good. The other thing I wanted to share is what happened with the car. So yeah, a lot of pink flowers. Tomorrow is my daughter's birthday and we're super happy. She's happy too, and we're getting ready. So the car, no longer there. It's actually gone. So there were two guys from Fort Myers. They came, they spent a lot of money because they rented a truck, a U-Haul, and they bought suspension, they bought wheels, they bought a bunch of things to come and be able to pick up the car. And when they saw the car, they realized that the car was bad. I let them know beforehand. I do not think that they could be able to restore this thing. They pushed me forward. They say, we will come. And they ended up picking up. So I decided to give it for free, no charge. They were very happy about that, and I wish them the best. The last goodbye, Gio and Corey are gonna take this shit out of home. They yet don't know if it's gonna be an LS, right?
We're trying to figure out if it's LS or 2J.
There we go. So hopefully, you know, if it's a 2J, it's gonna feel at home. You guys have there the R154 transmission mount. Now let's talk about the insurance and my citation. So yeah, I ended up getting a citation because apparently, you know, you should not be allowed of crashing trees. And I think the police officer, he had a point. So I didn't discuss. I mean, I strongly agree never to discuss to a police officer, especially when you know you made a mistake. So I got a citation. Then I went to this ticket clinic thingy. They want to charge $300 for a citation of $180, and a lot of things were not, you know, certain what would happen if I hired them. So I said, okay, let's find other options. The other option was, you know, just pay the citation and declare yourself guilty, and the other one was an option that the state provided. In this case, it's the county. So if you're in the US and you get a citation, you get into your county, you put the number of the citation, and the system will give you options. Because this was my first citation, I got an option of basically paying the same amount of money. It was, from monetary perspective, was $185, but with the possibility of doing a basic driving improvement course. Yeah. Ta-da! Yeah! Vamos! And I ended up passing the freaking test, so super happy about that. Also, as you can see, we kind of reshuffled and remodeled our garage. We have some new cabinets, gift from Ines and Christmas. We are making our lunch area, taking use of those two seats. And we're gonna have not a whiteboard, but a blackboard. So that's kind of the concept. And then I need to clean that stuff. So in the middle of fixing all this, we basically painted the roof, we put the flags and all that stuff. And while removing the rear differential, painting all these things and leading with this situation, I started having a really bad migraine. And after 5 days, we ended up in the hospital, and $17,000 later, thanks God, we do have health insurance. Man, this country is so expensive. Medicine is so expensive, but yeah. I ended up, being fine, and it was apparently very bad, movement in my neck, according to the doctor. So I'm starting to take things a little bit slower. But yeah, that shit happened, and also I wanted to be completely transparent and share with all of you. We opened the engine, and this is what we found. Oh god, that doesn't sound any good. Yeah, as you can see, that thing didn't sound any good. So we decided to remove the transmission, and we ended up going again. Okay. So everything seemed to be okay until we have this idea of how can we check if the crankshaft bent. I started looking online. Apparently, it's very difficult to bend this crankshaft because it's a forged crankshaft. But we went with a very, a friend of mine would say, a very Cuban way. We grabbed my license plate and we put it into this place, and we started rotating the crank, seeing if there's any gap. And as you can see in the pictures, there is a major gap. There is a major gap. So the crank is officially bent. People say that when life throw you lemons, I know you know the answer. I hope if you're watching this video and you're going through something, don't give up, mate. Don't give up. Know that there are other people going through very, very difficult times. When I went to the hospital, man, that was an eye-opening. That was so shocking. I went to the ER. You start seeing so many people with so many deeper, harder, more difficult situations or issues to go through. So don't give up. Whatever you're going, don't give up. And just because I was born and raised watching American movies, this cannot end bad. So we move forward. We just bought an engine.